Is Floyd Mayweather Jr. bad for boxing? Recently I was watching a video where they were asking Floyd Mayweather who would win a fight between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Triple G Golovkin. And this is what he said.
If I was Canelo's promoter, I wouldn't even fight Triple G. Canelo don't need Triple G. Triple G needs Canelo.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but after watching this video, I came to the conclusion that Floyd Mayweather is bad for boxing. And I have a few reasons why. Reason number one, he is telling champions to duck other champions. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have a problem with that. Floyd Mayweather is the biggest star in boxing, and he's telling Canelo, right, the second biggest star in boxing, to not fight Golovkin. Why? Because he doesn't need Golovkin. It's obvious that Canelo can still generate a lot of money and not have to fight Golovkin ever. But as a fight fan, as a boxing fan, why wouldn't you want to watch this fight? I am assuming that Mayweather is also a boxing fan. So, as a fan, I want to ask Floyd, don't you want to watch this fight? Because this has great fight written all over it, right? You have Canelo, who's a good fighter, right? And you have Golovkin, who's a good fighter. And their styles mesh well. And this fight has classic written all over it. And yet Mayweather is telling Canelo not to do so. So this ideology of ducking challenges is a problem and is hurting the sport. Reason number two, it is taking longer to make good fights. There was a time where champions would fight champions. You didn't have to wait decades for fights to happen. Check out the 80s. You had so many great fights. Look at the career of Sugar Ray Leonard. He went and fought Roberto Duran. A year later, he went and fought Tommy Hearns, right? Think about that for a minute. These are monsters he's fighting, and he's fighting them in a very short interval of time. Check out the 90s. So many great fights, one right after the other. But nowadays, you have to wait years. Case in point, Mayweather versus Pacquiao. That fight was 5 years too late. Sure, they generated a lot of money, but the fight itself was a huge disappointment, right? They were no longer in their prime. That fight would have been so much better 5 years ago when they were at a higher or closer to their physical peak. So as I was saying, that fight took too long to be made, right? And when it was finally made, it was such a disappointment. I remember sitting there and just thinking to myself, wow, I just wasted $100. $100 watching this fight. It was a huge disappointment. And I think that fight also hurt the sport a lot because you had a lot of casual fans who tune in, and then it was just such a huge disappointment, right? I was hoping for a much better fight. Can you blame Mayweather for fighting safe? No, you can't. It makes sense. I can see why he would do it, right? But as a fan, I wanted to see a more action-packed fight, and it wasn't. It was such a letdown. Reason number three, this idea, and this is sort of related to reason number one of ducking challenges, because they want to stay undefeated. There's nothing wrong with losing to a great fighter, right? Muhammad Ali, people love Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali lost a couple of fights, but that still didn't take away the fans' love. Fans still love Muhammad Ali. Same thing with Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard lost a couple of fights, but fans were still supporting, fans still loved him. Same thing with Tyson. So this idea that you have to stay undefeated to remain marketable is bullcrap, and it's also hurting the sport. Reason number four, and I think this is the biggest problem, is the fact that other fighters, up-and-coming fighters, are adopting this ideology. Case in point, Canelo Alvarez dumping the belt, right? Now, I don't know, maybe Canelo will fight Golovkin next year. But again, why do we as fans have to wait a year when the fight could probably happen in September? This is the problem. And since Mayweather is the biggest star in boxing, it is obvious that up-and-comers are going to look up to him for advice. If I am trying to learn, I'm going to try to learn from the best. And in this case, Mayweather is the best. He's the most successful boxer. So these up-and-comers are going to go to him for advice. And this is the advice that they're getting from Mayweather. Don't fight, guys, unless you have to, right? Don't fight challenges or challenging fighters unless you have to, right? If it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense, and it's a problem. And it's one of the reasons why the UFC is doing so much better than boxing nowadays. Say what you will about their skill level, but the champions will always fight. Like the number one guy will always fight the number two guy in the UFC. Whereas in boxing, the number one guy could spend 5 years without fighting the number two guys. Now, the other thing I notice is that this ideology is also trickling down to the fans, and the fans are accepting this, which to me is nonsense. If you go to the boards, right, to the boxing boards forums, you will hear fans talking about, oh, the split, oh no, because Canelo deserves this much money, or this guy deserves this much money. And my question to you guys is, why do you care? Why do you care if fighter A gets 70% as opposed to 65% or 50 or whatever percentage? Why do you care? You're not part of the money team. You're not part of Canelo's team, right? So you're not the trainer. You're not getting a percentage. You're not getting a cut. You're not the cut man. You don't work the corner. You're not the promoter. So why do you fans, why do we as fans care about the amount of money or how the money's going to be split up? That's irrelevant to us. As a fan, the only thing you should concern yourself with, it's a good product. And a good product in this case is a good fight. So that's the only thing we should worry about. A good fighter fighting another good fighter. That's the only thing that should matter in this case. So now the question is, as fans, what can we do to prevent the spread of this harmful ideology? And how do we put a stop to this trend? And it's actually pretty simple. Don't buy bad fights, all right? When next time there's a pay-per-view that's an obvious cherry pick or an obvious mismatch, don't pay for it. In this transaction, we have the power. We are the consumers. They want our money. And if we don't give them our money, then they're going to be forced to make good fights. So it's as simple as that, guys. But it's something that we all have to agree to do. Don't buy bad fights. Don't buy pay-per-views that are full of mismatches, all right? That way, they'll have to fight each other, all right, guys? So these, again, are some of the reasons why I think Mayweather is bad for boxing. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. He's a great fighter. But this ideology, this mentality is going to only hurt the sport more. So, guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and share with your friends. And let's keep it moving. Manny Boxing.